So guys, Nomis is here. Today we'll be talking about my top 10 small forwards list. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and make sure to comment. So, I have 12 players on my list, and there's some honorable mentions. I think you can have these two players at 10, even 9. First of all, you have Andrew Wiggins, who's finally a positive in winning basketball this year. He's been a very good defensive player, getting coached up by Draymond, and he's been okay offensively, and his splits are pretty good right now. I think he's averaging 17, 18 points per game as the second option, which is not bad for that Steph Curry team. So, yeah, I have him as my 12th best small forward. And then Bojan. Bojan's kind of being slow. Is kind of slowed down. Right now he's playing a lot of power forward right now. But he's just a decent defender with okay offensive game. I'd say I'd have Andrew Wiggins over Bojan. I think Andrew Wiggins has better offensive potential than Bojan, but we kind of know what Bojan is. And then now we're into the top 10. OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby is a young player with all defensive team talent, first team defense talent. It's more of right now he's more of a DN3 player, but I could see him offensively upgrading. He's not really great at creating his own shot. He's okay at it right now. But yeah, I think he's averaging like 15 points per game. I know the Raptors are pretty slow right now, but he's okay. This year he's kind of been all right. I'd say it's more the potential I'm leaning on. And then if we're talking about potential at my number 9 spot, at Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. has only played like 10 games this season, and he's averaging like 17 points on really good splits. Reason I don't have him, and his scoring potential could probably be in the top 5 right now. But the defensive wise, he lacks that. I think it's mostly because of playing time. He's athletic enough, and I think once he gets into that rhythm and he gets into that defense of the Nuggets, I feel like his defensive rating could go up a lot more. But right now, he's probably offensively, he's probably a top 5 small forward. Defensively, that's where he really lacks. And then at the number 8 position, I have DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan is a okay 3-point shooter this year. He's actually a below average this year. He's averaging like 20 points per game. He's all right. He's one of these players that you can have as shooting guard or small forward. This year, he's playing a lot of small forward. He even lugs in some power forward minutes. Main reason I have him over Michael Porter Jr. is because DeMar DeRozan is a better defensive player than Michael Porter Jr. and he's better offensively than OG Anunoby. So, yeah. Also, he's more consistent than both of those players, where you kind of know he'll get you 20 points a game. Mid-range best shooter and probably one of the best in the NBA right now. It's kind of confusing where the San Antonio Spurs are gonna go with him, but he's kind of in this weird place where he's kind of irrelevant in the NBA right now. He's a great mid-range shooter, okay playmaker, decent defender. He's this guy that's kind of decent everywhere. And then now we have Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, I think, is just average at everything. I think he's just great at or not great, but good at everything. He's better defensively than DeMar DeRozan. He shoots better than DeMar DeRozan. Creating wise, maybe DeMar DeRozan has him that way, but Gordon Hayward's production this year has been a lot better, and he's been actually the Hornets have actually been a decent team with him, even though he's probably overpaid. The Hornets probably had to overpay him no matter what. So yeah. And then after Gordon Hayward, I have Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant last year played power forward, and this year he's playing more small forward since Blake Griffin's on that team. Jeremy Grant is leading the Detroit Pistons in scoring right now. The last couple games, he's been putting up 20 points a game. Defensively, guy's a superstar, all defensive type of player. Offensively, he seems like he's holding his own. Should he be a player for most improved? Not really, because it's not like he improved. It's more like, oh, he got more opportunities, and I think he's just doing the best with his opportunities right now. So, yeah, I don't. Jeremy Grant's that guy that's really more. His defense is more useful than offense right now. Plus, he doesn't really contribute to winning basketball currently at this moment. Then after Jeremy Grant, have Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is above average defender, and offensively I think he's way ahead than any of the players behind him. And now we're getting in the top 5, where I think the small forwards list gets a lot better. I mean, the small forwards list is very barren until you get to the top 5. But Brandon Ingram could give you 30 points a game. All-star last year, averaged 25 points a game on great splits. He is a good player, right? He is averaging like 23 points per game right now. And reason I have him over Jeremy Grant is because he's just an offensively better player, and he kind of contributes to winning basketball currently, even though the Pelicans don't have probably the best record right now. Then after Brandon Ingram, I have Chris Middleton ranked at number 4, the fourth best small forward right now. Reason I have him, he's just more consistent than Brandon Ingram and contributes a lot more than to winning basketball than Brandon Ingram. Better defender. Offensively, I'd say the ceiling is a lot higher with Brandon Ingram, but the floor is a lot higher with Chris Middleton. I think Chris Middleton would be more consistent than Brandon Ingram. Kind of choose your poison. Soon, if I'm betting on Brandon Ingram's potential, he'll probably pass Chris Middleton in probably a year, maybe even this year, if the Pelicans could turn it around. But I think Chris Middleton is just a better defender and better contributes more to winning basketball than Brandon Ingram, and he has been able to keep up on the offensive side with averaging 20 points per game on great efficiencies. So yeah, Jayson Tatum is my 3rd best small forward right now. Jayson Tatum hasn't played that many games. He came down with the that thing that we don't talk of in 2021. So yeah, he came down with that. He hasn't played that many games. Just saw potential by himself and how he looks on the eye test, mid-range wise, 3-point wise, driving wise. His splits are all kind of really good right now. I think Jayson Tatum could be that number 1 option more than any of these players that I named already, and just really betting on potential for right now. I mean, he hasn't really proved anything this season. His teammate has proved a lot this season, but I think Jayson Tatum could be at that superstar caliber level, and I think the only person that could probably say that is Brandon Ingram, and he hasn't really participated in winning basketball, like I said. And Jayson Tatum has been to the playoffs every time in his career. I think all 4. How many years has he played? All 4 years. So yeah, Jayson Tatum is just a winning player. And then at number 2 and 1, not honestly, I have Kawhi at number 2. Just saying, Kawhi, good defensive player, all defensive player. Even though I feel like he's regressed over the years, more because he's more focused on the offensive wise. But great defensive player still. Kawhi is usually always putting up good splits, and he's averaging like 24. He's putting up Kawhi numbers, 24 points per game, probably like 3 assists, and then like 5 rebounds. Those are Kawhi numbers on good shooting splits. While LeBron James is doing LeBron James things. Don't need any explanation with LeBron. But I don't have KD on here. I think this year KD has been on that more power forward role, so expect him to be in that next list in the next couple of days. But yeah, so here's my list. I have LeBron at 1, Kawhi at 2, Jayson Tatum at 3, Chris Middleton at 4, Brandon Ingram at 5, Jeremy Grant at 6, Gordon Hayward at 7, DeMar DeRozan at 8, Michael Porter Jr. at 9, and OG Anunoby. If you guys disagree with my list, you're automatically wrong. If you think you're right, go bite yourself. Don't really care. And so this is my list. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like. And thank you guys for the support. See you guys later. No peace, no misses out.